Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success. Presents Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, a show that shines a light on spiritual growth, health, purpose, and financial education. It's time to emerge and begin to live out your dreams, walk into your destiny, while making a difference in the lives of many.
Welcome to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am your host, and it's always an honor and a privilege to come before you another Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. I am excited because today we're going to have another good conversation, and I love what I do. I love what I stand for. I love what God has put me on this earth. One of the things that he put me on this earth to do, and is to really share to you the power of control, the power of becoming your own banker, the power of you taking the limits off of what we thought could be, right? So I want to talk about something because I was talking to someone within my community, and she was sharing some lost opportunity that happened over the weekend. And when she opened up her mouth and began to share the magnitude of how much money was a lost opportunity for her and her husband, I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh. You know, on just in one day, I think she said 2 days. In 2 days, they spend about $1,400 just on food, takeout food, not like food that they literally go to the grocery store. They're talking about Uber Eats, DoorDash, going out, to a restaurant, $1,400, right? Again, another set of what we call lost opportunity costs. So I was like, you know what? I got to do a show on that. I really got to talk about what that looks like. What is lost opportunity cost when you think about it? When you think about what lost opportunity cost really is, you think about when you really, it's really what you spend, right? When you spend or save your money in a traditional ways, like, banks or accounts, your bank accounts, deposit your debit card, using your debit card, or one-time purchases. You're not just parting with cash, or you're actually giving up that future potential of that same money making money for you when you think about it that way. So why lost opportunity cost really matters? Because it is time for us to not give up that future opportunity of that same amount of money making profit and making money for us. So I'm going to kind of dive in and talk about what that looks like. Okay, I'm not going to be long with you this week. I really wanted to just kind of dabble on some information. And even I was thinking about just how this year started. I thought about just how things came about for all of us. And I'm like, I can't believe we're like mid-year already, right? So what really, when you think about, again, what lost opportunity cost is, when your money loses value or is spent and never grows. That's what, when you think about opportunity cost, you think about it that way. You have lost opportunity of that growth of that money forever. That's like going to a car dealership, buying a car. The minute you drive that car off the lot, that car has lost its value. Just simple as that. Even, when you think about the greatest thing about real estate, it increases its value. But when you buy cars or any type of a boat, anything and such, it will always depreciate in value. Furniture, like I remember I bought this leather furniture, and when I bought it, it was about $2,800. I think it was $2,800 or $3,800. I think it was $3,800 for that set. And let me tell you how much someone wanted to buy that furniture from me for. They was like, I kept on trying to get it for $1,000, the minimum $1,000, I was able to sell that furniture for $500. Something that I bought for $3,800 2.5 years ago, which was in good condition. There was nothing. One thing about me about my furniture, I clean and I keep it together. That furniture had no rips or tears in it. But that person bought that furniture off of me for $500. The decrease in value, right? So I want to kind of talk about what lost opportunity costs. So here is how it really is. So it's not just about spending, it's about losing growth. Remember that when you hear, lost opportunity costs, you think about it as losing growth. So every dollar you spend or even save in a low yielding environment is a dollar that's not earning interest. I'm going to say that again. Every dollar you spend or save in a low yield environment is a dollar that's not earning interest. More importantly, I want to share with you, it's a dollar that can't be reused. You can't reuse that same money. Recycle it. You can't even recycle that same money or leverage to create more wealth with it. So let me just give you an example, right? So, for example, if you spend $10,000 right now on a car, that $10,000 is gone forever. If you just drop $10,000 cash into a car, right then and there, that money, that $10,000 is gone forever. But if you had that same money in an account earning 5% annual interest, in 20 years, that same $10,000 that was earning you 5% annual interest now has grown to over $26,000. So that's a $16,000 loss in future growth, and that's the real cost of lost opportunity cost. So just think about it. You dropped the $10,000 cash. Literally, if you had it in a place where it's growing in value of 5% annually, that $10,000 would have grown to $26,000. So because you did not, you lost $16,000 of growth that could have been really your money. That's how we calculate lost opportunity costs. So think about it just like this inflation. It steals quietly, right? Inflation eats away at the buying power of your money. Remember that. Inflation eats away at the buying power of your money. If inflation averages 3% and your bank account is giving you earning of 0.01%, you're losing money every year just by keeping it your money parked in a traditional savings account. I want you to hear that because that's what's happening with us here in America. I can't speak for all abroad because, I live here in the United States of America, right here in Central Florida, right? So I'm speaking to you about what is happening here, right? So when we think about inflation today, we think about, again, average of 3% on your bank account. But the bank is only paying you 0.01% on the money that you have in their account where you host your money. So really and truly, who's winning is not you. Who's winning is not the borrower. It's not the saver and it's not the borrower. It's only the banker or the bank is winning, right? So opportunity cost plus inflation equals guarantee loss. I'm going to say that again. You put opportunity cost together plus inflation will equal for you guaranteed loss. So one time is gone, you can't recover it ever again. So once you spend it out, once you let it out, once you give it out, It's gone and it's gone forever. You cannot recover that money again. This is the power of compounding interest or compounding, right? So the power of compounding is tied to time. What is it? What is the power of compounding tied to? It's tied to time. Just like I gave you that same scenario. What's the scenario we gave you about you buying a car cash at $10,000, right? Today in 2025. 20 years from now, if you had literally utilized the concept that we teach here, infinite banking, and borrow from yourself, your $10,000 is still in your account, giving you the interest and the added, compounding income. I mean, interest over time, over 20 years, that money that's been in your account, growing at 5%, has yielded you an extra $16,000. So now your 10,000 look like $26,000. So compounding. When you think about the power of compounding, it's tied to time. So that's why I would tell people, like, you acting like you haven't been using this traditional system for all your life. They come over to becoming your banker and expect for everything to just magically happen, but they don't expect the magic to happen on the traditional side because they were programmed and they've been taught to receive the 0.01% and think it's okay. It's not okay. Again, you are tuning into Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. It's always an honor and a privilege to come before you another Thursday. And, as a licensed financial consultant, as a licensed practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute, I truly believe in the power of knowledge, sharing knowledge, giving you the information so you can know better so that you can do better, right? So we're having this conversation and I'm talking about opportunity cost. When you think about opportunity cost plus inflation, it equals guaranteed loss. I gave you the example how the power of compounding is tied to time. I shared how you buy a car for $10,000 cash, but 20 years later down the line, that same $10,000 that you would have, if you had put it in a better place to yield you 5% annually, that annual compound interest would have calculated to over $16,000 for your $10,000. That would have been now a total of $26,000. Okay, so I believe that we have truly the power to create wealth. And when we think about the way wealth is created, we think wealth should only be created through us just working. Not so at all. Not so at all. Wealth is not just created by us working. Wealth is not just created by inheritance. Wealth is created by knowledge. Because when you know better, you can do better. And the Bible always tells us that the people perish. We perish because of lack. We don't know. And when you don't know, you can't change. When you can't change, you're stuck in this rut, the cycle that you can't even dig yourself out of. So I am thankful that I found out about this information through Core Financial Partners. The co-founders of Core Financial Partners is Tony and Latoya Chambly, and I appreciate them so much for giving me the platform to learn. One, giving me the platform to be able to receive the information by going to the classes, studying, and now finally passing the test to be a practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute, and now having the opportunity to share this with my community at large. So what are the things that I want you to think about? There are three types of people that we have here. You have those who are savers, those who are borrowers, and those who are bankers. The savers, they can either just sit there and throw their money into a traditional bank account, hoping to get 0.01% interest. You have the borrowers, which who are there to borrow what they need, borrow what they need so they can actually afford their life. And you have the banker. They really control everything. They're the one that controls the saver. They're the one that controls the bank, the borrower, and they're the one that controls the bank. So we have to choose to figure out who will control it. So my question for you is, which person are you? Will you be just a saver? Will you be just a borrower? Or will you be the banker, the one that controls it all? So we teach people how to really take that control and become the bank. That is it. So yes, we want you to we're going to show you how to save, but save on your own bank, in your own bank. Save on your terms, right? We're going to teach you how to borrow from your bank and still stay the bank. We're going to teach you how to be the bank and still remain in control. So I'm excited about just giving that information, and the more I come here and share, the better I feel like I'm able to reach my community at large. I feel that the timing for us to learn is now. The timing for us to shift is now. The time for us to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to take control of my own economy is now. We have to know when the time is. And we have been with the media, they're doing a great job. They're doing such a great job of moving us away from what we need to understand. They're doing such a great job by keeping the blindfold over our eyes. They're doing such a great job to silence the truth about money. Because the one who has the goal control it all. The one who holds the key unlocks the door. That part, okay? And I'm excited about just being able to do this. Like, I just put in a proposal to my community to tell them, look, I would love to play the game called Cash Flow once a month within my community. Then I put in a proposal to my city to ask them, look, can you host me at the city level to do this as a specific game, a game night for families? I want people that I am around to know that I exist. Do you know that I'm the first Black woman in all of Florida that holds this license? That is so powerful. Dr. Mellisa Lambert is the first Black practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute in all of the state of Florida. I know for a fact Central Florida don't have a Black woman. And I'm not one to throw race out there at all, but I am one to recognize when change needs to happen, and also knowledge needs to be shared. So I'm thankful that I can bring forth this great information so that my community, the city I live in, the neighboring city, which is Haines City, Ponciana, Kissimmee, Orlando, go back to where I came from, the Seminole County, Altamont, Apopka, Longwood, Lake Mary, Sanford, the Maitland area, all those areas, Winter Park, Winter Spring. I would love to be able to know that Florida has learned my name, especially Central has learned my name. They can say my financial consultant name is Dr. Mellisa Lambert. I can't wait also to walk across the stage academically as Dr. Lambert, going across with my master's in biblical finance, my doctorate in organization leadership, and to be able to go into the churches and share this knowledge overall. Be able to let them understand the power and control. We talk about, bring the tithe to the storehouse, but don't realize how these people are struggling just to pay their tithes. If you show them money management skills, if you show them how to allow their money to work for them, they will have enough money to bring to the storehouse. Can I get an amen on that? The problem with the body of Christ, now I'm sitting up. The problem with the body of Christ is that we're moved by emotions and not by the Spirit of God. My God. We're moved by emotions and not by the Spirit of God. We're not teaching the things that's needed to help us make a difference and be a difference and also be the light in this world. Wake up. Wake up. We need to wake up. The body of Christ needs to wake up. So we hear these scriptures. We read these scriptures. We need to be doers of the word. Doers of the word. It is our birthright to be rich. It is our birthright to live in the abundance. It is our birthright to walk in faith. It is our birthright to walk in freedom. It is our birthright to have the favor of God over our life. It is your birthright. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, and those that dwell therein. If I am the master's daughter, why is the master's daughter is lacking in all things? Sometimes people, my daddy said to me while we were going to my graduation, he said, Mellisa, I don't know. I could never live like you. I've never seen a person that has everything is by faith. Faith without works is dead. But let me tell you something, baby. I do the work. And God do the increase. My God, I have done the work and I will continue to do the work while my God does the increase. Increase in me, oh God. Let it increase. Let it increase in me, oh God. Let it increase. So again, you are tuning into Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I am talking about why lost opportunity cost really matters. It really do matters. We need to know that when we push this money out of us, it doesn't come back. You're giving up future potential of your growth when your money leaves you. Like I mentioned earlier, I had someone that I talked to this past week, and they were telling me about how much money they spend just on Ubering food, DoorDash and food, $1,400. Lost opportunity. When they think about $1,400, I'm just saying average. On an average basis, if this person is really doing $1,400, that was on a weekend. Say they just do it monthly for 12 months. If they do $1,400 monthly on just food, takeout food, not buying food for their home, but just going out to eat type of food, that's $1,400 times 12, which is $16,800. If you now add that up, give 5% of that, that's $840, right? Times 20, that's another. If they had that money put into where it's growing for them, that money would have double, really kind of maxed out about 16,800, another 16,800. So their money would have been growing for them each year, at least $840. Like, this is what I'm talking about. We have to understand the way the money work in this system. If we want to continue to be broke, follow the American system, because they don't even pay back their own debt. They're in $1 trillion debt. America has to learn how to be their own banker, meaning like borrow from themselves and pay themselves back. They're in $1 trillion debt. Right? We don't want to be that way. We want to do the opposite. We want to be honest bankers to ourselves, pay ourselves, borrow from ourselves, and pay ourselves back. Right? That's honest living. In the Nelson Nash book, if you haven't got it yet, Becoming Your Own Banker by the late R. Nelson Nash, You can get that book under corereads.com, corereads.com, or just go on Amazon and pick up a copy of that book. But one of the things he talked about in that is one of the stories was the grocery store story. You own a grocery store. Instead of you paying yourself by going through the front door, you decide to go through the back door. It's my store. Why do I got to pay for my groceries? And then he said, "Do you think nobody watching you? Do you think that the person that is mopping up that milk in the aisle not seeing you walking out the door with a bag of food? You don't think that cashier that just clocked in saw you walking in the back door trying to get all those groceries to your car and didn't pay for it? What you think's going to happen to your business? Everybody's going to follow suit, because if the head can steal, why can I? Why can I not steal? If the head, the owner of this business, can steal from herself, why can I not steal from myself? You won't last a year in business doing that. And that's the point of that story, right? When you think about it, you're going to be an honest banker. Don't go through the back door by stealing from yourself. Go through the front door and pay for your groceries. So then your employees can say, "Dang, she owned the store, but she still paid for her groceries, and she don't ask for no discount. She pays full cost." Absolutely. Now that's integrity. Do you not think that the employees going to be like, "Dang, yo, I got to start shopping here"? They honest about their money. They honest about their business. Now you invested in your business by showing the right thing to do, which is to pay yourself. Not steal, go through the back door, steal from yourself and let everybody see that you're not honest. So because you ain't honest, I ain't going to be honest. I'm not going to be an honest employee. I'm going to do the same. Put something in my bag when I leave. And then if she does it, why can I not do it? Right? So we got to understand in life, everything that we do, it matters. It counts, especially lost opportunity costs. So I'm going to now bring this back around to how this can really go well with infinite banking concepts. So I'm going to kind of bring you back to that level. So infinite banking truly is the plug-in, the plug to beat the lost opportunity costs. Infinite banking is the plug to beat lost opportunity cost. So what if you could spend and grow your money at the same time? What if you can spend and grow your money at the same time? I would love that. I hope you would too. I would love that. So that's exactly what infinite banking really is. And that's what infinite banking allows you to do. By using a high structured dividend paying whole life insurance policy, you have just created a financial system where, one, your money just doubled right there. Your money does double duty right there, okay? You can borrow against your cash value. Remember this. I want y'all to think about this, because somebody said to me the other day, one of my clients was like, "You think I have money? You think I can borrow from my cash value?" I said, "Did you put nothing in?" She said, "No, not yet." So why do you think you can get something out? Y'all make that make sense. If you don't have no money in the bank, do you think you can go to the bank and borrow something that you don't have? I don't think so. I've never tried it. Because if you did, it's going to say negative, and denied. Okay, so you can borrow against your cash value if you got money in your cash value without interrupting the growth. So if you have $10,000 sitting in your cash value right now, understand You can borrow up to 92% of that while your 10,000 is still sitting there uninterrupted and is still growing. So the insurance company loans you their money. So if you want to borrow $9,000 or say $8,500, you're not borrowing from your 10,000 8,500. You're really getting a loan from the insurance company using their money, which is collateralizing their money, right? And while your cash value is still growing, your money continues to compound in the background, uninterrupted. So let's do a comparison, right? This is the comparison. Traditional banking, you deposit, then withdraw, money is gone and it's gone forever. Infinite banking, you deposit, you borrow against your policy, which is taking out your cash value. But remember, the insurance is loaning you their money while your money is uninterrupted and your cash is still there and it keeps growing. Another comparison, you earn less than 1% interest in the traditional bank, while in infinite banking, you can earn guaranteed interest plus dividends, oftentimes between 5 to 6%. Another comparison with the traditional bank, you ask permission to borrow. You have to ask permission. Like I had to call in to take money out of my to get some money from my Visa card. Do you know I had money there, but I had to call in because they had to send me to the fraud department to verify who I was before they could transfer me that money. I said, sir, I was trying. Why didn't it allow me? No, we just need to confirm that you are who you said you are. But if I can access my own account, like I had to go through a full, access to my personal account, put my username, my password, to enter my account, then ask for the transfer of money. If I could do that, why would you think it's not me? I didn't say that, but I'm like, okay, it's just because they want me to ask permission to get my own money, right? So you have, with a traditional bank, you ask permission to borrow loans or credit checks, right? Credit or, a check. But with an infinite banking, you are the bank. So permission granted. Can you say that again, Mellisa? I will. You are the bank with infinite banking. So permission granted. No permission needed. Another comparison with traditional bank, you pay the bank interest. Do you know that? 18% or more interest on whatever you buy. Like if you have a credit card with them, right? You pay the interest. With infinite banking, you pay yourself back with interest and grow your banking system. That part. Again, you are tuned in to Woman Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, and I have the honor and the privilege to come before you another Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody, as your financial consultant and the queen to be. I like that, the queen to be, the infinite. I am a licensed practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute. And I'm so excited to be able to come before you to talk about opportunity loss. It does matter. It truly, truly, truly does. So we're going into deeper about what the real benefit of infinite banking is. Like you can have that opportunity lost for that, that money is gone forever. But when you have the knowledge of infinite banking, you never will go through the opportunity loss process. So here's the real benefit of infinite banking. Again, I always have to go over some of the benefits so you can understand why this concept is necessary for you and your family, for those you like, love, and also trust. Okay? So one is guaranteed growth. Every single year, regardless of the market crash, there is growth. Regardless, there is what? Growth. Tax-free access to funds via policy loans. No loss of control. You decide when, how to pay back the loan. But all I ask of you, be a honest banker and pay yourself back. If you won't rob them, which is a traditional bank, why would you rob yourself? If you won't rob them because you will pay them, why will you now rob yourself? So be an honest banker and truly pay yourself back. Privacy, not reportable like typical bank accounts or lines of credit. They will report that you owe them. They will report that you late. They will even call you every single day if they have to tell you you owe them. They will even sell your loan to another third party for them to collect off the money that you owe them. Now, the last I want to talk about is legacy. This is one of the another real benefit of infinite banking. Legacy. Your family inherit a tax-free death benefit. As you use your insurance for life, whatever is left within that death benefit, your family take that on as legacy. We show you how to use life insurance for life. And whatever you release and leave for your family is now turned into tax-free legacy. Do you hear me? I'm still baffled why people are not knocking down my door. I'm baffled. You know why? Because they look at this as a bill and not an asset. Do you know with infinite banking, you really own like two assets? You own a saving asset and you own a life insurance, a death benefit asset. It's not liability. It's not something that you can say, you know what, this is a bill. Oh my gosh, I got to pay this again. No. If you look at it as a bill, you have got the wrong system. Stay at the traditional bank who's robbing you, who's controlling you. If you will look at this as a bill, I'm going to tell you right now, stay with the bank that's robbing you and controlling you, because that's what you right now, I'm going to say the word, that's what you deserve, because you don't see this as a potential of your own, where you control, where you have access, and where you can say, this is my asset. You have access and it becomes your asset. Whew. I just love that. Get your access so you can continue to grow your asset. Whew. I'm going to write a book. I'm about to write that down. Oh, I love that. Alicia going to be like, there you go again, Mellisa. Get your access so you can grow your asset. Woo, that part. I love that. I had to write that down, y'all, because y'all know I'll be talking and be like, what are you talking about, Mellisa? That I'm talking about. You need access so you can grow your asset. What your asset is, you owning a structured whole life policy that Mellisa Lambert is going to help you put together so you can continue to grow your asset as you have opened up the door to get your access. Wake up, America. Wake up. It is time to wake up. So wake up and own the power of becoming your own bank. We are in a time where inflation is high, still high. We're in a time where the dollar is weakening day by day. We're in a time where banks are failing or limiting our access. We're in a time where interest rates are unpredictable. We're in a time where the wealthy are quietly using these policies to protect and grow their money while creating legacy. So I say to you, listeners, it's time we stop being distracted and start doing what the wealthy is doing. Not what they're saying, but what they are doing. If your money isn't working for you, then you're working for your money. I'm going to say that again. If your money isn't working for you, then you are working for your money. When you become your own bank, you take control of your financial future. You also stop losing opportunity and you start building a legacy on your terms that will grow from the access that you have given to yourself to the asset that you will transition and pass on to your family. And then that's where we get legacy that will grow from generation to generation to generation. So, if you would like to dive deeper, I would love to help you. That's why I'm here. I didn't get my license as a financial consultant just to sit and just to say I have something else. I didn't get my license as a practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute just to say that I'm one of the 316 in the United States. I didn't get it for that. I'm not going to school to get my master's in biblical finance and my doctorate in organization leadership just to say, oh, I got something else on the wall. No, I'm going there for you to be able to give you the knowledge and know-how so you can now have the access that you deserve so you can begin to create the assets that will turn into legacy for your children's children. Even if you don't have any children at this moment, your access will give you power. Your access will give you authority. Your access will allow you to say, I am the bank. That's what your access will give to you. So I would love to do an illustration of how IBC, which is infinite banking, would work for you. I want to show you that. I want to show you what that looks like for you. A family plan, which will include your kids to build generational wealth with. And I also want to put together a strategy to stop the loss and start the gain in your house. So I want you to go to my website, LambertLegacyFinancial.com. LambertLegacyFinancial.com. I am a corepreneur partnering with Core Financial Partner, and I believe truly that we have what it takes to help you along the way. We have all it takes to give you the steps and the guidance that you need to fulfill what's coming your way for your finance. So don't forget to go to Lambert, Lambert, Legacy, Legacy, Financial, Financial.com and book a time. Again, it's free. To talk with me is free, but I say to you, with authority, don't waste my time. Your time is as valuable as mine, and mine is as valuable as yours. So please don't waste my time. If you are happy having the bank to control you, stay where you at. But if you are so like fed up with having them dictate what you do with your own money, and you want to see how you can get access, and you want to see how you can create an asset, not just one, but remember, we have infinite banking. So if you're ready to get the assets growing so legacy can live on, please go to my website, LambertLegacyFinancial.com. I am bold to tell you, I don't like when people waste my time because you can't get it back when you throw it out there. Time don't move backwards and move forward. So let's do something for yourself in a way that you can say, you know what? I value everything that I do. I've been told a lie all these years, and it's time for me to now realize all these years the system has been tricking me to believe that I can take control. If you are a saver and you don't have control, if you are a borrower and you don't have control, guess who the one that has the control? The banker. If you're not the bank, if you're not the banker of the bank, well, then you don't have control. So I'm so thankful. I am excited to know that everything that we do in life in this season is to help us to grow. And I believe wholeheartedly that the time is now. The time is truly now. So I want you to go to my website again. Go to lambertlegacyfinancial.com. You are tuned in again to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, and it's always an honor and a privilege to really come before you and to see and hear what we can do to help you grow. So thank you again for tuning in to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert. I hope to God that you found this episode really helpful. It's time for us to really understand why lost opportunity costs really, really matter. If you're spending that money and it's getting out of your hands, it's truly gone forever. So your future potential of having that money grow for you is no longer there. So let me help you bring back the control, become the bank so you can have the access that you need to now create the assets that's going to last for a lifetime. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to really hearing from you. So go ahead, go to lambertlegacyfinancial.com. You can follow me on Facebook at Mellisa, Mellisas Lambert. And also, you can follow me at Lambert Legacy Financial on Facebook. And every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am here sharing this information. And my goal, again, is to see you thrive and survive in this world where you can say, I have access to create my assets. All right, until next time, take care. Take charge, and continue to be great. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Women Emerge with Mellisa Lambert, where Mellisa speaks with leaders, experts, and motivators who share their journeys and their stories through personal and professional growth, knowledgeable tips, and lessons learned that will empower you to grow. Follow Mellisa and Women Emerge Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mellisas Lambert and at Women Emerge Network. And visit www.womenemergenetwork.com. Remember, when you know better, you can do better, especially when God is for you.